Welcome back to the Kruse Law YouTube channel. I've got an interesting topic for you today. What is a toxicologist is the first question. Secondly, how can they help with a DUI charge? Well, first of all, a toxicologist in simple terms is a scientist. They study the effects of drugs, alcohol, toxins, and chemicals on the human body. And they're experts in interpreting, for example, how drugs and alcohol metabolize and affect the human body and impaired symptoms. And they can be very helpful in DUI cases because they also understand how the intoxicants interpreting blood alcohol concentrations in drugs, etc. So let me give you some examples of how they can help and how our firm uses them. I'll give you, a few examples. So let's say you have an impaired driving case and you've hired an intoxicologist and they discover, for example, by looking at the breath room video, that the breath technician did not set up the machine properly. There was some errors made, etc. Well, you're showing errors in the process there. There's one example. So another example, for example, let's say the police, you're charged with impaired by a drug, and there was THC found in your system, and the levels were established by a scientist. Well, we could hire a toxicologist to say, for example, well, that level of THC would not impair your driving. Another situation where there's after the fact, let's say after you finished driving, you went home and you drank, well, and that level of alcohol was drank mostly at home. Well, we could hire a toxicologist to say, well, look, those 3 beers he had at home raised his blood alcohol to over the legal limit, but at the time of driving, he'd only had 1 beer, so he's under the legal limit. So in other words, they're interpreting results in a different way. They're analyzing whether the testing procedures were done properly, and we often hire them for these reasons. Another example, which is a very, very helpful example, is many of these toxicologists we hire in the province are experts at the drug recognition evaluation tests. There's 12 tests that the police do. If you're charged with impaired by drug, they bring you back to the police station. They make a demand that you do an extensive drug recognition evaluation, all these balance and coordination tests and eye tests and taking your blood or urine, etc. What we do oftentimes, or usually I will recognize, hey, there's an error made, but I can't get up in the witness stand and say that. But we hire a toxicologist to analyze and say, there's the error, and these results are not accurate. In other words, the drug recognition police officer, the expert, did the whole process wrong, and the person, he could not have determined the person's impaired, because it's garbage in, garbage out. If you don't do tests right, and the toxicologist is able to say that, then you could potentially win the case. So there's a few of many examples where we hire a toxicologist to interpret results, give different spins on cases, show the police made errors in testing procedures, all designed to potentially create a reasonable doubt and win your case with the help of an expert toxicologist, scientist that is, testifying in court. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.